Wade is now forced to put aside his killing spree to find a more meaningful direction for his life, but then trouble found him again. When the TVA appears and interferes with Wade's newly modified timeline, it is also when Wade learns that his timeline is about to be destroyed. And to save it, he needs to take on the identity of Deadpool once again. At the same time, find a familiar name to remember to help. That is Logan or Wolverine. However, because the Logan in Deadpool's timeline is dead, Wade is forced to find another Logan. Yet somehow, among the evil Wolverines across the multiverse, Wade still brought to his universe a Wolverine who could be considered the worst of all. So how can Deadpool save his universe? And can the team-up he personally chose bear fruit? You guys go out and find the answer yourself. Because this is a review, not a movie summary. The viewer's initial impression is of something more complex and unpredictable. Still, Deadpool and Wolverine's 2 hours are anything but boring. On the contrary, it is 2 hours of satisfaction, explosion and extreme cool with a series of unbelievable segments. Compared to the famous fanservice that the Marvel Cinematic Universe brought 3 years ago in No Way Home in 2021, it's really nothing compared to the way Marvel mixed it up this time in Deadpool and Wolverine. The number of guest actors, somewhere around 60, has been announced in advance. Well, it's really not just a publicity stunt to attract views and customers. When the general audience has been treated to so many things, experiencing every emotion while watching Deadpool and Wolverine. And there's one thing we need to make clear to everyone, which is that the guest actors are given quite a bit of screen time, not just passing shots, inconsequential and harmless. They will be one of the characters that contribute to the overall cast of the film, not just fan service. Besides the cameos from famous names, Deadpool and Wolverine also has many hidden details and Deadpool's endless taunts of other movies and studios. And trust us, Deadpool's limits and level of gore far exceed the first 2 films, and surely movie fans will have to laugh non-stop at these impressive scenes. At this point, finding a purely entertaining movie like Deadpool and Wolverine is as rare as finding 2 stars in the sky. As the main characters laugh and tease each other non-stop, but all the lines they utter are well chosen and almost all are punches that score points in the hearts of viewers. Close friends in real life and also good co-stars, Deadpool and Wolverine are truly a pair that is hard to replace. Although this is the first time we've actually seen the two together on the big screen. Of course, we'll ignore the forgettable co-appearance in Wolverine in 2009, but after watching for 2 hours, we felt like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman had been acting together for the past 10 years. Not only are the exchanges of blows empty, the silences created by the duo are also extremely valuable. It's true that it's not until standing next to Wolverine that we really get to see other aspects of this fat guy Deadpool. On the other hand, putting aside the almost perfect 10-point duo, there is one thing that we feel quite regretful about while watching the movie. It's the old characters who weren't given much screen time, and instead, as mentioned, were forced to give their time to the massive guest cast that Deadpool and Wolverine have. Also, Emma Corrin's Cassandra Nova isn't really a great character in this movie. First is about capacity. For a main duo that leans towards physical strength and hand-to-hand combat like Deadpool and Wolverine, we would prefer for the duo's enemies to be a counterpart that leans towards physical strength and hand-to-hand combat, rather than a magic-based player like Cassandra Nova. This is also something we have mentioned many times in our analysis and always tried to hope that Cassandra Nova would not be the main character of the movie because she does not have the right connections with the duo Deadpool and Wolverine. And in the movie, that becomes even more obvious when this cannot be called a well-developed character. She isn't given too much about her past and motives. Instead, the filmmakers rely entirely on the viewer's understanding of the character, rather than focusing on giving her a decent backstory in this film. Ready to talk about the audience's understanding, for the simple cameo of Deadpool and Wolverine, if you only read through some famous stories or only know about MCU in movies, it's hard for you to recognize all the names on the screen and feel excited. Some of the names are so obscure that only longtime Marvel comic fans might recognize them and know who they are. Deadpool and Wolverine are still left with a lot of questions about how they will join the Marvel Cinematic Universe after this movie ends. Despite being directly connected to the TVA, as mentioned, Deadpool and Wolverine are still characters from other universes and have not been bridged directly into the MCU that we have been watching for the past 10 years. Likewise, Deadpool and Wolverine's story doesn't require too many trade-offs. This is most obvious in Episode 3, when most of the problems and twists are handled quite quickly and simply, lacking the drama and appeal that many people expect. This is a bit of a letdown after the previous 2/3 of the film did so well. I can even give Deadpool and Wolverine's first half performances a 10 out of 10. But it seems that with a duration of only 2 hours instead of 3 hours like Avengers Endgame, the filmmakers of Deadpool and Wolverine did not want to take too much risk by giving it an overly complicated plot. Instead, what they want is fan service and gratitude for what 20th Century Fox has done over the years. Well, Deadpool's fights in parts 1 and 2 are so satisfying and convincing enough for all action movie fans. Especially the strength between him and Wolverine was teased in the trailer. Now, when we get to watch the whole thing, it's truly beyond our ability and imagination. In terms of violence, it's clear that even the first 2 Deadpool movies couldn't compare to this ambitious third movie. The camera shots and angles captured every move of Deadpool and Wolverine, creating some seriously insane scenes. The selected songs are often associated with the early 2000s, such as I'm With You by female singer Avril Lavigne, Bye 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 by the once famous boy band NSYNC, which also evoke many memories in the hearts of the audience. In general, the soundtrack of Deadpool and Wolverine, in addition to the vibrant, shocking songs, also has extremely haunting atonal beats, full of extremely good emotional climaxes, and you definitely have to go out and watch to feel the unique sound of this movie.